We humans like to think we're special. We invented civilization, complicated everything, and then called it progress. But let's be real. If Earth handed out superpowers, humans wouldn't even make the short list. Because out there, nature is basically running a superhero franchise. We've got invisible shrimp, immortal jellyfish, and fish that shoot lasers out of their faces. Well, almost. These aren't cartoon creatures. They're real animals, with abilities that make Marvel look like amateur hour. And while we're out here bragging about opposable thumbs, some octopus is literally changing color, texture, and shape like it's auditioning for the X-Men. So today, we're looking at 5 animals so insanely gifted, they'd get banned in any online game. Get ready for heat-blasting shrimp, brain regrowing salamanders, and one very smug jellyfish that basically said nah to death. Let's dive in. If Aquaman had a nemesis, it'd be this guy. Meet the pistol shrimp, a tiny ocean creature with the power to create explosions. It snaps its claw so fast, it shoots out a bubble that reaches over 200 decibels, louder than a gunshot. That bubble collapses, creating a shockwave hotter than the surface of the sun. The result? Instant cooked fish. Scientists filmed it in slow motion, and it literally vaporizes its prey with sound. Like, imagine clapping so hard that reality briefly gives up. The shockwave is so strong it can break aquarium glass, and the sound can stun nearby shrimp, including other pistol shrimp, which leads to underwater brawls that sound like underwater popcorn. And, get this, the bubble also produces a tiny flash of light, a phenomenon called sonoluminescence. So technically, the shrimp creates fire underwater using sound. That's 3 elements in one. Nature just gave it a DLC pack. The only downside? It's about 2 inches long, which means if pistol shrimp were human-sized, they'd probably rule the planet. Instead, they're stuck living in holes, murdering fish with claps. Honestly, kind of a vibe. This one's basically Wolverine in a hoodie. The axolotl, a salamander from Mexico, has one of the most insane healing powers on Earth. Cut off its leg, it grows back. Slice out part of its heart, it regenerates. Remove a chunk of its brain, it just makes a new one. No scar? No problem. Scientists have been studying it for decades, trying to figure out how. Turns out, the axolotl has pluripotent cells, basically stem cells on steroids, that can turn into any tissue it needs. It's like having a 3D printer inside your body. Even crazier, it never grows up. Most amphibians start life underwater, then evolve lungs and walk onto land. The axolotl said, nah, I like the water, and stayed a permanent baby. That's called neoteny, staying in your juvenile form forever. So it's basically an immortal, self-repairing toddler with gills. If that's not evolution trolling us, I don't know what is. Some scientists even joke that if humans had axolotl DNA, hospitals would be out of business. You'd just pop an arm back like a Lego piece. But hey, maybe that's for the best. Because if we could regrow brains, Twitter would be empty. The electric eel doesn't bite, sting, or chase. It just zaps you. This 8-foot fish generates up to 600 volts, enough to knock out a horse or start a car battery. Its entire body is basically one giant living taser. It has special organs full of electrocytes, cells that work like tiny batteries. When triggered, they discharge all at once, releasing an electric pulse that paralyzes anything nearby. It can even aim its shocks like sonar, sensing movement in murky water. So it's not just dangerous, it's precise. In 2019, researchers filmed one jumping out of the water to attack a metal rod, meaning it's not just electric, it's aggressive. Imagine if your lamp could leap off the table and punch you. What's even weirder, the electric eel breathes air. It has lungs, not gills, so it has to surface every 10 minutes. Basically, it's a lightning bolt that has to gasp for breath. Benjamin Franklin once joked about catching one for experiments. He never did, but if he had, he'd have invented the taser 200 years early. Nature looked at electricity and said, you know what this needs? Teeth. You know how people talk about the secret to eternal youth? This jellyfish found it. Meet Turritopsis dohrnii, also known as the immortal jellyfish. When it gets injured, sick, or too old, it doesn't die. It just de-ages back into a baby form, then it grows up again. And again, and again. It's basically reincarnation without the paperwork. This process is called transdifferentiation. Its cells can transform into any other kind of cell. It's like if your grandpa tripped, fell, and turned into a toddler instead of going to the hospital. Scientists have been trying to replicate this ability for years, hoping to find clues about reversing human aging. But so far, the only thing we've learned is that jellyfish are way better at life than we are. The catch? Most immortal jellyfish get eaten before they can enjoy immortality, which is kind of poetic. Nature's way of saying, nice trick, still useless. Still, Turritopsis has technically beaten death. Meanwhile, we're out here celebrating when our phone battery lasts a full day. Finally, the heavyweight champion of the animal kingdom, the mantis shrimp. This creature has two abilities that sound made up. First, punching power. Its claws accelerate faster than a .22 caliber bullet, hitting with over 1,500 newtons of force. It can smash crab shells, shatter aquarium glass, and probably your self-esteem. Second, vision. Humans see 3 color channels: red, green, blue. Butterflies have 5. The mantis shrimp, 16. It sees ultraviolet, polarized light, and wavelengths we don't even have names for. So it's both a heavyweight boxer and a walking kaleidoscope. Scientists studying it had to invent new camera tech just to understand what it sees. Some researchers believe its vision could inspire next-gen optical sensors and cancer detection tools. But mostly, it's a colorful little psychopath that can punch faster than your brain can process. If humans had mantis shrimp reflexes, professional boxing would last about 2 seconds, and half the audience would need new TVs. So there you have it. 5 animals that clearly didn't get the same rulebook as the rest of us. From underwater explosions to eternal jellyfish, it turns out evolution has been handing out superpowers long before humans started arguing about capes. Honestly, if animals ever figure out how to unionize, we're done. So if you enjoyed this dive into nature's questionable design choices, hit that like button, subscribe, and take a moment to appreciate the fact that most of these creatures don't live near you. Now, next time on Weird But Real, did a prisoner survive execution because the rope kept breaking? Is there really a story where one tiny mistake wiped out an entire town? Was there a case so bizarre that the court had no answer? Honestly, we have no idea. But if we did, we'd tell you. Probably. Class dismissed.